When we picture a perfectly compliant commercial vessel, we usually imagine something like this: a modern, cleanly painted carrier moving predictably through calm waters, and its paperwork verified at every port. For years, the maritime industry operated on an assumption that you could spot a rogue ship by its physical decay. The prevailing myth suggests that the so-called shadow fleet consists entirely of aging, dilapidated rust buckets barely staying afloat. The reality is entirely different. A vessel's physical appearance no longer dictates its commercial intent, its legal compliance, or the risk it poses to coastal states. Brand new, perfectly maintained tankers regularly enter opaque ownership chains. To understand how modern geopolitical sanctions are evaded, we have to stop looking at the steel and the paint. The true indicators of a shadow vessel exist entirely in its hidden operational data. Tracking these opaque vessels is an operational nightmare. Because they utilize complex corporate structures, leading intelligence bodies cannot even agree on how many of these ships actually exist. This chart highlights a tracking discrepancy. Brookings classified 343 shadow tankers in 2025, yet tanker trackers counted 1,271. This variance exists because there is no universal threshold. When criteria shift from sanctions evasion to commercial opacity, thousands of modern ships fall into the gap. Coastal states are actively attempting to police this exact statistical gap. Port state control detention rates have steadily risen, hitting 4.03% in 2024 across the Paris MOU region as authorities intensify their inspections. The shipping industry is facing a systemic tracking failure. Ships are effectively slipping into an invisible, highly lucrative commercial space, all while remaining physically in plain sight. Standard commercial shipping relies on a strict foundation of financial guarantees. A vessel requires a letter of credit from a recognized bank, hull and machinery insurance for the physical ship, and P&I cover for third-party liabilities. Looking at this structural diagram of a vessel's operational layers, you can see how the G7 price cap mechanism actually functions. The cap on Russian crude is not a global ban on buying the oil. It is a strict legal limit on the services allowed to support the cargo. When a cargo violates the cap, insurers abruptly withdraw their warranties. Without those foundational layers, the commercial chain instantly collapses. Ports will not service a ship lacking reliable liability guarantees. But the global demand for energy does not disappear when Western insurers exit the market. Major Asian and Middle Eastern importers can still legally import oil under their domestic laws. The trade simply shifts to alternative, harder-to-verify financial ledgers. The shadow fleet is a predictable structural market response. When the trusted financial rails that facilitate global trade are severed, operators build new ones. To bypass those severed financial rails, operators utilize a very specific tactical playbook. They rotate ship managers frequently, register vessels under opaque shadow jurisdictions, and routinely spoof their automatic identification system data to mask their true locations. One of the most common tactics is the mid-ocean ship-to-ship transfer. By moving crude from an older hull into a newer one at sea, operators can sploot the documentation, effectively laundering the identity and origin of the cargo. These operations require precise coordination. Ships sync their transfers with dark windows, periods where they intentionally disable their transponders to create a gap in the satellite record, removing any digital proof of the exchange. These maneuvers are the physical manifestation of a fractured legal system. We are watching a global trade network operate, where legal legitimacy depends entirely on geography. Coastal states are not ignoring these maneuvers. They routinely intervene against opaque vessels to investigate sanctions evasion, enforce pollution controls on older hulls, and counter alleged hostile intelligence activities. In early October 2025, French forces boarded a vessel reported as the Boracay near Saint-Nazaire. What began as a standard commercial inspection rapidly escalated into a national security probe due to claims of nearby drone activity, resulting in the detention of 2 individuals. German authorities intervened when the tanker Eventon was found adrift off Rügen. A genuine safety intervention quickly morphed into a complex sanctions case when investigators linked the ship's traffic patterns to the gray market. When authorities detain a vessel, the financial architecture collapses again. If investigators allege forgery or sanctions evasion, alternative insurers instantly deny the claims. The owners walk away, and the ship is abandoned. The immediate impact falls entirely on the crew. Passports are retained, wages are frozen. Masters and senior officers face severe investigations regarding paperwork they often did not draft, held in jurisdictions they do not understand. The owners and the intermediaries remain insulated behind shell companies. When geopolitical enforcement meets operational ambiguity, the ultimate risk bearers are the seafarers trapped on board. Infrastructure accidents expose how quickly maritime law can ensnare a crew. When the Eagle S was accused of damaging undersea cables in the Gulf of Finland, Finnish prosecutors charged the senior officers, turning an infrastructure incident into an immediate jurisdictional trap. These legal traps directly conflict with the captain's actual responsibilities. At sea, the hierarchy of command demands strict adherence to three things: the seaworthiness of the vessel, the physical safety of the crew, and the integrity of the cargo. There is a critical distinction between a technical deficiency that threatens a coastline and commercial opacity. Painting over a funnel or presenting a non-Western insurance certificate are red flags that warrant investigation, but they are not inherently proof of criminal intent. Treating every opaque commercial indicator as a default criminal act traps innocent seafarers in prolonged legal battles. It destroys livelihoods without materially improving the physical safety of the maritime domain. To manage this market shift, enforcement must target the financial enablers. Rather than just detaining the physical ships and their crews, authorities need to sanction and prosecute the brokers, insurers, and payment intermediaries who facilitate the concealment. This flow diagram outlines a proposed verification mechanism. Ports need fast, interoperable technical systems to quickly and reliably prove the solvency of non-Western insurers, reducing the need for mid-ocean secrecy. Interdictions must be driven by data, not suspicion. Security forces must pair intelligence with admissible technical telemetry, like hard radar tracks, verified imagery, and physical debris, before initiating a boarding that could strand a crew. Most importantly, the industry must codify crew protections. Any detention protocol should mandate immediate consular access, guaranteed welfare, and a strict legal presumption of non-complicity for the seafarers on board. The market found a way around the financial rails, and the resulting ambiguity is now a permanent fixture of global trade. The sea will only become less gray when objective operational telemetry and seafarer protection finally replaces aesthetics as the standard for maritime law.